Alright, so I'm doing videos about the Puerto Ricans and the organizations from the Puerto Ricans going all the way back from the 50s to right now. Like, in this specific one, I'm going to talk about the Imperial Gangsters and Fingolo. Rest in peace, Fingolo. A lot of people know Fingolo from the Imperial Gangsters. Now, rest in peace. I remember not too long ago, before he passed away, I was locked up with him. And we were talking, me and Fingolo were talking, and we were talking about the history. Now, Fingolo's father, or stepfather, was Cadillac Joe, and Cadillac Joe was a Latin king. And now remember, Fingolo's Imperial Gangster. And the Imperial Gangsters are against the kings. So we were talking, and we were talking about the history. And Fingolo told me, when I asked him, what he thought if we can get together. And he told me, yeah, we could. But it was going to be difficult for the Puerto Ricans to get together. You know? But he was on it. So Fingolo had told me the story from the past, and it was consistent with me. All these gangs, they Harrison Gents, like Imperial Gangsters, all that. Well, the first gangs in Chicago was like basically in our area, in Wicker Park, West Town. There were the Latin Kings that put us all together. There were some other gangs before that. And I'll get into that later because that's in my book. But I ain't going to talk about that. So Fingolo told me that if we could all have a sit down and talk together, we could do something together. All the Puerto Ricans come together. Not come together as we can organize ourselves where there's peace. Or at least, now if you work for the city in Chicago, you know this could happen because if you were a gangbanger, you're going to see everybody else. The city of Chicago is made up nothing but all gangs. Everybody who was a gang member is a part of the city of Chicago now. They work everywhere. And that's not saying nothing bad. That's something good. Because that means that the city of Chicago, by giving people work, can make a difference. There's employees that I know. There's not only employees. I know people who are elected officials. I know people that are Chicago police officers. I know people that are just about everything for the city that used to be gangbangers. I ain't gonna say your name, so don't worry about that. I'll say I was a gangbanger. I'm not a gangbanger now, but I was a Harrison Gent, and as far as I know, my identity is like that. Because once you're a gang, even if you're 60 now and you were 14, that's your identity. Okay? I was a Harrison Gent. And as far as anybody else, I dare anybody to come up and say anything negative against me. Because I was a down motherfucker. And I still am. Now, Fingolo told me that if we all had a sit down, Imperial Gangsters, Latin Kings, Insane Unknowns, everybody, Harrison Gents, Cobras, all of us, we could do something together because there's brothers already. The Kings and everybody, they were all Dragons, and everybody were all Cobras, everybody. They were already all hooked up with the Puerto Rican Parade Commission, if you didn't know. All right? So the Puerto Rican gangs, if you want to know, have been together already. And this goes all the way back. So with the Latin Kings, it started in '63. And the Maniacs, the Spanish Lords, and whatever gangs that were Puerto Ricans, we're already been united. The only part is that on the street with the young guys we're not. But if you look at the politics, and everybody knows about the politics in Chicago, in Humboldt Park, your uncles and your brothers are all, and you may have relatives, listen, all the Puerto Ricans, I don't care what you are, if you're Puerto Rican, and you even mix with anybody, I don't care if you're mixed with black or whatever, you're Puerto Rican, Chinese, whatever, you got relatives in Chicago, then they're involved in other gangs that you're trying to fight and kill. And there's no reason for it. None. At all. So So what I'm saying is this. Check this out. On this part here, I'm going to name it Imperial Gangster. Because this is in memory of rest in peace Fingolo, Fingers, from the Imperial Gangsters, that told me directly before he died that all the Puerto Rican, we all need to get together. And he named it. He said how it was. He said if we sat back and got together and talked in a meeting, we can get all this shit done. But he passed away now. But the thing is, I'm putting it out there. Because he's just one of many. But Fingolos, I give you respect, Fingers. And I put this out there in your name, bro. And this is under the name of the almighty Imperial Gangsters. Because Imperial Gangsters are bad motherfuckers. Alright? When I was in Lane Tech, there was an Imperial Gangster that backed me up against the Gaylords. When they were going to fuck me up. I don't know his name, but he was down there. And Fingolos, I know because I kept on going to the joint. I used to always... Anybody knows Fingers, he was always going to the joint. And I would be there too. So this is what Fingolos told me. All right? Let's unite, Puerto Ricans. And that's what he told me. Amor, Imperial Gangster, Fingolos, rest in peace.